Day one of the 49ers draft is in the books. We are here on the BAM Show, and we are going to recap what happened and give you who we think the 49ers may go with on day two. Everybody smash that like button, get your popcorn ready, and let's get this joint popping. What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Wayne Breezy. Welcome to the BAM Show. I got my man Tony, number Niners, in the building. Mike he disappeared for a second. Tony, how are you, man? How are you feeling after day one? Are you feeling revived, rejuvenated, refreshed, replenished, retooled? Like, how would you describe your feelings right now?
I feel good. I just wish it started earlier than what it does, but as far as day one, I think they had a good day one. I like the way they went. And, we got a lot. We got 3 picks coming up today. There's a lot to look forward to. There's still a lot of talent on the board, and they have a great opportunity to fill some needs that they need in day two.
I couldn't agree more. Shout out to the Breezy Bunch crew out there. Thank y'all so much for your love, your support. All the people watching live on X and YouTube, appreciate you. Make sure you smash that like button. If you're new to the channel, please click subscribe. And if you want to become a member and support the page, go ahead, join the Breezy Bunch crew. All right. And don't forget to check out our sponsors over at residency.com. All right, use the promo code SFBreezy. You can save on your total purchase. Tony, take me back to what you was feeling when the Niners announced the 11th pick of the 2025 NFL Draft. Defensive end Mykel Williams, University of Georgia.
I was excited. It's someone that we spoke about. You actually told me, hey, listen, I think this is the route they're going to go. I watched them originally. I saw some things that I like, but then when you said that, I went back again. I really just focused on him, and I just watched play after play after play. And then you started noticing how he's dominating in big games versus good quality tackles. One was drafted this year. The other one was drafted 2 years ago by I forgot what team he went to. But you see the talent, and it's a need that was filled. A run defense that was horrible, that had more holes than Swiss cheese.
Ooh,
and
it's a lot of holes.
Yeah. So now they're going to improve on and they focused on stopping the run, and this is a major step towards it.
I love it, Mike. Tony was giving his initial reaction when the pick was announced. Mike, what was your initial reaction when the pick was announced that it was defensive end Mykel Williams?
Yeah, I think we were all pretty happy with the pick. I saw some people saying that they were disappointed with the production and all. And what it really boils down to is number of opportunities, right? The number of snaps. And it's clear about the injury and then the heavy rotation that they have over there in Georgia. So he didn't get those opportunities to put up those big gaudy numbers. Imagine if he did. You know what I'm saying? And so I think it was all about tempering expectations at that point in time. I was desperately searching for somewhere to find the snap count for him to compare him to other edge rushers in this draft class. I couldn't find it, but then someone in our group chat this morning shared a video with someone talking about it and saying that he had the least amount of snap counts of snaps, and look at the production that he had. So they were kind of reiterating my thoughts on it. I like it. Like Tony said, like you guys know, the biggest need for the Niners was the ability to stop the run. He's going to come in here and do that in spades. You know what I'm saying? So we running wheels. He's got 10 and a half by itself. If y'all not taking wheels, I don't know what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? So.
Yeah, man, just to reiterate what you just said, 402 snap counts for the defensive end out of Georgia, Mykel Williams, which was the least amount for edge rushers coming in entering this draft. You know what I'm saying? And so we do know that he missed 2 games with the ankle injury, and then he returned and played on a high ankle sprain for the remainder of the season. And for me, that just gives me Warrior vibes. People want to call him top dog because he went to Georgia. He's a dog. Cool, no problem. That's a Warrior. That's an ultimate Warrior. We watched Fred Warner do that last year. He wasn't his best, but we watched Fred Warner duke it out and go down with the ship. Like, you know what I'm saying? He didn't jump off the ship with the team. We've seen players come in here with high ankle sprains. I ain't gonna mention their names, like Jimmy Garoppolo, and make business decisions and not play for the remainder of the season. I don't know if you guys remember that you want to know what turned me on him? It was that moment. Because I remember George Kittle came back and Jimmy said, "Nah, I'm good for the rest of the year." Regardless if we were contending or competing for anything, I don't know. I just wanted to see that warrior vibe. I get that from this particular kid, man. And when you look at him, man, 6'5", 260 plus pounds, 4'7", in the 40. I mean, he doesn't have the 40 speed, but damn, he plays with a high, relentless motor, and he plays a lot faster. He has more like that stop and go speed. I don't know if you watched some of those pass rush snaps that he had, but there was a particular play, Tony, where I don't know if you've seen this, where he had like a clear lane. He didn't start off with a clear lane to the quarterback, but then it like opened up, and then he like took off and went after him. Yeah.
That was versus Texas, right?
Yeah, it was versus Texas. Exactly. You know, versus Texas, one of his best games. And you know what I liked about him in the Texas game? He played him twice. Nobody's talking about this. And in the first game he played against Texas, it probably wasn't his best game. He did have 4 total pressures. He did end up with 2 sacks. But then they played him again in the championship game where he had 6 total pressures and 2 extra sacks. Like, you get what I'm saying? And so, like, the grading is totally different between the 2 games. And he just had a much better outing out there, and he played more snaps in the championship game. So maybe that injury really was hindering his play out there on the football field. What are your thoughts?
I agree. And another positive factor, what you said, is when he plays more, he does more. That's where we're going here. 400 snaps, limited, big rotation, played across the line. He's drafted by the 49ers, and he's going to be that defensive end. And that's it. He's no longer a 4-eye, a 3-tech, a stand-up linebacker, inside shade to the center, A-gap, blitzer. No, the star role, or the jack role, if you will, of Georgia's defense. His hand's going to be in the dirt, and he's coming. Play in and play out. He's going to set the edge, and he's going to go make a play in the backfield and hit the quarterback. Now we're going to see him, hopefully, flourish.
Hopefully. Now, I believe he ran a 4.77 at his pro day, but he had like a 1.59 split. I believe that was the split. So the split time is there, and that's kind of like what I'm talking about. So it's the burst, right? Those 10-yard bursts. If he could chase down a person, great. And it's really sideline to sideline, because he's really going to be setting the edge and chasing down some of these mobile quarterbacks. I think a lot of people forget that we still have to play Kyler Murray. All right, we still got to play a mobile quarterback. Whoever's out in Seattle, can't remember name, whatever. But we got these mobile quarterbacks. Matthew Stafford still moves outside the pocket, whatever. You try to keep him in the pocket. So, I mean, guys like that, I believe he's going to have high production. Over or under, he had 5 sacks in his collegiate career. Over or under, I would say 6 sacks in his NFL career rookie season.
I'm going to take the that's a good number. I'm going to take the over. Over. Let's go, man. I'm thinking 7.5, 8 sacks his first season, man. Coming there, I like that a lot. And well, never mind. We'll get to it in a little bit. I'm gonna take the over.
Okay, Mike's going with the over. Tony,
I'm gonna go over. I just want to real quick before you move on to the next thing. I'm just gonna give you 2 stats. One individual is 6'5", 260 and runs a 4.73. The other individual is 6'4", 263 and runs a 4.82. Who's who?
Well, I know the 4.82. Are they current players in the NFL?
No.
Oh, okay. They're other collegiate people. Well, I know no 4.8. There was no 4.82 from the guys we were looking at, right?
This was a previously drafted guy by the 49ers.
Oh, got you. That's what I asked.
Who is it?
Were they currently in the NFL?
4.82.
Was that Aldon Smith?
Yep. Mykel Williams is the 4.73. And Aldon Smith's the 4.82.
Yep. But the football speed is crazy, though. Like I mean, part of it, do you guys agree, like, could be just processing and then go, right? It's all about how quick they hit that button. Like, do they understand where they're going, and then boom, 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 boom?
The thing is with Georgia's defense is their focal point of that defense is setting the edge and not getting the run outside. That's their first responsibility. Second responsibility is go ball, see ball, get ball. and then sack the quarterback.
There it is.
So they're in that defense, it's strictly stopping the run and setting the edge. Now, when you take him out of that and put him in a more freestyle, pin your ears back, get up the field, all gas, no break, and this is where you're going to see him take that step in his career. Remember, 20, going to be 21, I think, in June. This kid's a pup. Same thing that was said about Alden Smith when he was drafted. Young, athletic, long arms, wingspan. It was the right pick, in my opinion. And then you throw the snap count in and how low it was.
I agree. I like low snap count, young age, moldable, Mike. Like what else would you want for the 49ers to do? Robert Saleh's getting him a kind of like, you ever buy something and you kind of got to shape it and make it your own. Like Robert Saleh's getting great quality and now he gets to kind of like customize it, right? Like that's kind of like how I'm looking at it. Like I feel like Mykel Williams is customizable. I guess I just made up a word.
Customizable. I got you, baby.
Yeah.
So you know what it is? Here's the one. I love the pick. The one thing I wish the Niners didn't do was mention
that they wanted to trade
on a busted ankle.
Oh, okay.
I was like, why did they do that? No, because it's like the Niner fans are already against some of, like, first of all, when the pick comes in, most people are going to say, oh, that's not the right guy. We could have got Mike Green. We could have got Stewart. We could have got – everyone's going to have the guy. I saw people say we should have got a tight end, right? Like, it doesn't matter. Everyone's going to say it was a bad pick. As soon as you openly admit that you know about the injury, it's like, oh, here we go again. Another first-round guy. They didn't learn from Kinlaw. It's like, that's what I wish they didn't do. Everything about the pick I love. I absolutely love it. I love that they said that they wanted him early on. They thought about trading up for him, and no one was willing to take it. Sometimes you just can't fight fate. I love everything about the pick. I love what they're looking to do and what they're looking to build. I can't wait to see what other pieces they add to the trenches to complement him and Nick Bosa. I can't wait to see them move him inside to play the defensive tackle position. Like, it's really exciting. This kid is, like you said, a lump of clay, right? And they're getting to mold this guy. He hasn't even hit his peak as far as size yet.
Correct.
You know what I mean?
Correct.
He's still
strength.
growing.
I was gonna say strength, like more of grown man strength. Like, you know what I mean?
Sir.
Yeah.
He is gonna be a problem. It's really, really exciting. Niner fans, they're gonna get behind it soon. I promise you. Oh, it's only gonna take a game and a half. And they're gonna be like, oh yeah, we got something here.
And then I think people also don't realize that he's going into two rooms, right? One, obviously his defensive edge room, where he's going to learn how to be more of a tactician with his hands, learning technique, just modeling, watching Nick Bosa play. That's one room, right? And then the second room, guess who he's going to have to go up against in practice? Like, we're talking Trent Williams. You're talking about a guy where we talk about iron sharpeneth iron. Remember when Nick Bosa got here and we got Trent Williams? Nick Bosa got better. He could no longer power rush his way to the quarterback. He had to learn how to use moves, how to use these things. And I'm not saying Nick Bosa didn't come in with moves already. He had to chisel these moves. I think Nick Bosa's was a way ahead of advance of a pass rusher than my man Mykel Williams is, just because of the moves he came in out of Ohio State. But this doesn't mean that Mykel can't learn other edge rushing moves. I mean, that's the whole point. And now you finally gave Chris Kocurek another guy. Now, if he can't develop this kid, then we can start having conversations about Chris Kocurek, in my opinion, because you finally gave him another guy. You keep giving Chris Kocurek, and I'm not trying to say players are trash, but you're giving them less value players, and you want him to work a miracle out of less value players. That's not how it works. Everybody, even Chris Forrester doesn't want better value players. Maybe that's why Kyle Shanahan doesn't value the offensive line as much as we do. Like, you know what I mean? Look at Mike's face. Dalza Life. Have you seen the vid where he talks about what kind of system he want to play in? 4-3, same as we do. I think that's what he's saying. I don't know. Did you guys see that video? I know there's a video of him talking, the Danza Project, about him wanting to, he's looking to win a Super Bowl his rookie year, and this is that and the third. I don't know if you guys got a chance to see that video, but I'm super excited as well as you guys.
I did not see that, but those are the kind of things you like hearing, and that's another part of the cool process today. These next 3 days is like hearing all these different little tidbits from the different rookies, right? Like, I don't know if you guys saw the post. What's the kid's name that went to Dallas?
Tyler Booker. That's my nephew, man. Yeah.
Yeah. And he's sitting there talking about like, oh yeah, you look like you got that fight in you, but you got to go up against me all game long, and I'm gonna slowly watch the fight diminish from your eyes. Like Micah Parsons, like flipped out, like, oh, he got me ready to go now. Like it's those little clips. You hear these guys hearing the guy talk about his Super Bowl aspirations in his rookie year, right?
Yeah.
Of course, everyone wants it. He believes that though. He believes that, and he went to a team that's pretty damn good.
For sure.
You know what I mean? It's 3 players in this draft that were projected to go inside the top 15, and we're hoping to get to a team. Or probably believe that they weren't going to get to a team that was even going to make the postseason.
Okay.
Right? But 3 of them now have that opportunity. There's
sure.
Mykel Williams, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the 2 guys that went at the end. What are their names?
How much?
Josh Simmons,
and
Jahad Campbell.
And yes, Eagles, Chiefs, Niners. Right? All of a sudden, their dreams of, oh snap, I could possibly do this in my rookie season. Now, all of a sudden, that's a reality. Like, that's a real possibility for these guys, right? So now they got more pressure. It's like, oh, I got to really come in here and do it. There's an expectation here. That's what's exciting. I like that.
Can we get that book bag full of Niner gear? I want one.
I don't know what is. I didn't. What is that?
All Niners gear. They just handed it to the rook. I want it. Sorry.
Yeah, it's nice. I'll take it.
I'll take it too. Send us Niner gear. 49ers. Send us Niner gear. We need about 10 backpacks, and we'll give some away on the show. All right. You know what? Let's go ahead and flip it because it is day 2. We have 3 picks left in the top 100. I do want to reiterate that the 49ers had 27 top 30 visits, and 6 of those players have been drafted. Obviously, 1 went to the 49ers, right? And so that's a total of 6 of their 27 that are off the board. Walter Nolan went to the Cardinals. Let's see. Calvin Banks Jr. went to the Saints. Josh Simmons went to the Chiefs. Josh Connolly Jr. went to the Commanders. And I'm still scrolling. I believe that's it as far as the top 27 visits. So the Niners have tons of players still left, and players that I have second round grades on. Mike, day 2 is here. Tony, day 2 is here. Pick 43 is up. There are players that have fallen out of like the first round that have first round grades. Let's talk about Mike Green, Nick Emanwori. Let's talk about Luther Burden. Let's talk about Will Johnson. Darius Alexander, I got a first round grade on him as well. And Donovan Ezeraku, we can omit Shedeur Sanders unless you guys really feel like the Niners may take a quarterback.
There's no chance the Niners are taking the quarterback early. I do think they should draft one. I don't think they're drafting one to come in and compete with Brock. So no, you can't do it. You can't do that on day 2. But yeah, no, there's a lot of good names of people who fell and that are still available. Wayne, I want to ask you this question really quick because this is the guy that I think may be on the Niners' radar right now.
Okay.
How concerned are you with this Will Johnson injury?
I'm not. That's funny that you asked that question, and I'm glad that you did. And it's funny because the stories are weird, right? So, number one, they're not disclosing how severe these injuries are. They're just saying there's a possible chronic. I've heard that word used somewhere. There's possible this, possible that, possible this, possible that. I think it's just more the simple fact that he chose to make those decisions to not run. Guarantee you, had he ran in the 40, Mike, we wouldn't be having these injury concerns, regardless if he ran a 4.3 to the 4.5 to the 4.6 to the 4.7. Right? You get what I'm saying? Like, I just don't think we'll be having these serious conversations. But because we didn't run, somebody is leaking out that he has this injury report, and everybody gets the same injury report, but some guys, they get updates. I was listening to Rand Carthen today, and he was saying they all get the updates, they all get this, and some teams just won't address it. I think that Will Johnson, and I think people called me crazy when they said that I think he'll fall to 43, but I mean, it sounds like 9 picks. He could fall to 43. And Mike, Tony, why not go after premier talent if he does have some type of an injury situation? You don't necessarily need him this year. You can redshirt him. We've done that with second round picks like Aaron Banks on the offensive line, who came up behind what's the offensive guard we had? Laken Tomlinson.
Yep.
You can have Will Johnson here, and he can do what he needs to do. But when it's time for him to step up in year 2, he'll be good and ready to go. I'm just curious to know what your thoughts on Will Johnson. That's how I feel. I think the injury stuff, I'm not saying it's bogus. I just think they're blowing it a little bit too out of proportion, and I just think because Mike, your guy went in the first round. You said you had a first round grade on Max Hairston. He ran that 4.28. And for the Buffalo Bills to go with him, kudos to them. He does play more of a physical style. That's not Will Johnson's game. Will Johnson is more of the mind guy, like Richard Sherman, kind of sort of like as far as his mind. So he just might not have fit the defense over in Buffalo, but congratulations to Mike for getting that right. I just wanted to point that out there. I think I owe you some wings or something. But at the end of the day, I think Will Johnson at 43, if he's there and he's available, I don't see why not.
Did he have a knee issue in Michigan?
He had the knee issue.
Wasn't it an ankle originally?
Nope. He first had the knee issue, and then it ended up being turf toe. So he had 2 issues. First the knee, then the turf toe. So the knee was healing, and then when he came back, he ended up with that turf toe.
I mean, you're talking about a guy who's projected to go top 15?
At least, yeah.
Yeah, he was going to go top 10.
And if he's sitting at 43,
I mean, this is the time you could take the risk, right? Like you take
even trading up 5 spots. If he's
I'm not trading up. I'm not trading up.
No,
I'm not trading up.
I wouldn't do that.
So then,
wait. Hear me out.
Wait.
No. Let's hear you out. I'm not trading.
I wouldn't. Here's why I wouldn't do it. Just it's short and simple. Corner is not the biggest need.
The biggest need to be it's not the position you want to trade up. But Mike, right. he is what Tony is getting ready to say, and I understand. But he's a top best player available, and let's get to that because that's why I asked: do the 49ers go with their biggest need, or do they address the best player available? BPA. Let's go, Tony. My bad.
At this pick at 43, if you truly feel that he is that big of an upgrade, or has that much value, and you're telling me you wouldn't trade 5 picks for him to move up 5 spots?
I just don't.
That's scary.
No, so all right. My issue with trading is that means we're going to be losing more on the back end, and I think I want the Niners literally to draft 10 more picks. I think that's where I am. So that's my thing about the trade. It's not about his injury. It's not about that. It's just I kind of really want the Niners to pick in the top. I want them to get 3 more players today. Does that make sense?
It does, but my point is this. Top 15.
I got you.
That's what I'm saying. And if you notice a team in front of you that is going to take a corner.
Yeah, I got you.
You stick true to your board and he's truly that player.
Yeah.
It's the team right in front of us that we got to worry about. It's the Panthers.
It's the Panthers. It's not just the Panthers. So it's the Browns. It's the Panthers, right? Because the Browns need a corner.
The Browns got 2 of them, right? So
yep.
30,
and they're looking to move on from one of just trust me. From what I'm hearing, the Browns need a corner. Like that's what I'm hearing. They want a corner. They might not need it, but they want. So they have 2 picks. They have 2 picks in the second round from the trade. So they can go corner here. They can go quarterback with the second pick at 36. Who knows?
Another reason I wouldn't trade up for him is because I like Azariah Thomas. So let the Browns take Will Johnson, right? And then if corner was the move, Thomas is there.
But I don't think corner is the pick.
Okay, so here's where I'm going to step in right now. I'm going to check both of you right now. If you think you really like Thomas, but this guy's got a top 15 grade, and both of them are at 43, who are you taking?
It's Will Johnson for me.
So then what are we talking about?
I'm taking
Go get him.
Thomas has been my guy.
No, I understand that. But if you're telling me you're going to take Thomas over a guy who has a top 15 grade, and he's sitting there in front of you at 43? That's where it's like, okay, this is where it becomes confusing. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Well, if it
keeps moving.
It's cool. Go ahead, Wayne.
That junk is driving everybody nuts. Shout out to Crazy Juice. We got a new member of the Breezy Bunch crew. Appreciate your support, my man. Thank you so much for becoming a member of the Breezy Bunch crew. I just, first of all, I think cornerback is a need, but I don't think it's the biggest need. But I think if you're going off of value, Will Johnson is the better overall corner, however you want to look at it. But just value. Right, but just value-wise, Will Johnson is the better overall corner. I don't think Isaiah Thomas, as much as I like him, will fit this defense. I just don't think he fits the defense. He doesn't have the speed. He doesn't have certain things. So I think they go with the bigger corner, and let's look at these big corners because Darian Porter, 6'3". That's why we talked about Za Frazier from UTSA, 6'3", right? Will Johnson, 6'2". Isaiah Thomas, 6'2". I think there's another one that's kind of like Trey Amos. Isn't he like 6'2"? And so it could get tricky if they feel like that's the biggest need. But, Tony, what's the biggest need for the 49ers right now? Like,
I mean, obviously it's defensive tackle.
Okay, so let's shift to defensive tackles because the Niners at 43 have to go defensive tackle, right?
Do they have to?
I'm asking.
I wouldn't say have to. I mean, it's penciled in as the pick at 43 right now. But if there's a run on a position, right? Like let's just say hypothetically, I'm just using this straight out. Where's your depth your depth pieces on like the tackles? An offensive tackle, just say.
Offensive tackles?
Well, no, on your sheet.
Oh, offensive.
I don't want to offensive tackle. I'm sorry.
So Josh Simmons, we got Connolly's gone. So Emory Jones, we put up here. I think Ariante Ursary would be the next guy. He's a top 30 visit guy for the Niners as well. I think he'd be the next guy. Anthony Belton, Ozzie Trapio, Charles Grant, Logan Brown.
I'm just saying if there's a run on a position group, and according to your big board,
some guys could fall, right?
Yeah, like if there's a run and you're like, oh shit, this guy's really good and he's sitting here, but he's not a defense tackle.
Yeah.
Then you have to have a conversation with yourself in your war room and say, do we go just to take the tackle, or do we have a more bang for our buck at pick 43 with a higher grade?
And that's what it's going to come down to, right? Because look, like there's a couple of players, right, that aren't defensive tackles that may fall to 43. Like I don't like Mike Green. Do you double up on edge?
That's what I was going to say. If Mike Green is sitting there at 43,
yeah. If Mike Green,
who's mad that we double up on edge?
Listen, if they
do that, man, I will break the internet. Literally,
if they feel confident in what they've done in their due diligence and their investigation, then you have to really consider it.
I don't know if
there's any question.
I know.
Remember, this is about culture and what they believe in.
Get the fuck. Sorry. Get all that.
But these. No. Tony's right, Mike. These are red flag players.
They traded up for off the team and Reuben Foster. They told him to get the hell out of Tampa. Don't do it, Mike. Don't do it.
They gave Reuben. We don't have time. It's cool. I'm gonna shut up. I'm gonna take
but my point is these are red flag players, and I'm not saying that Mike Green is not on the board, but I mean if he's sniffing at 43, it would be dumb not to say, oh well, he was in the red flag target, but hey man, at pick 43, we didn't. Let's get him. What's the worst that can happen? He don't pan out.
The red flag turns to yellow.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. Yeah.
Yes.
Same thing. So, all right. So if Mike Green and Will Johnson is there, who you going with?
Oh, snap. Now you in your bag, baby.
It's 2 yellow flags,
now you
right?
in your bag. Answer the question, Tony.
I'm in my bag. And then,
want to know my answer? I would move back.
Tony dropped the bomb.
Wrap it up. It's over, y'all.
I would move back.
That was a bomb. That was a bomb drop right there.
You're going to have somebody that has a massive need for an edge or a massive need for a corner, and they're going to offer you a significant package to get up there to get that player.
That was a bomb drop, Tony. God
It
dang
is,
you.
It's kind of like what, think about it. It's kind of like what Atlanta did with the Rams.
Correct.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Correct.
Got
Correct.
that first out of him. Yeah.
Correct.
All right. And they doubled down.
For sure. They doubled with 2 edge rushers, Pierce and Walker. And here's the thing I like about that, Tony. That will give the Niners more picks in the top 100.
And now that gives them ammunition. If someone falls for them that they need,
then they can move up. Nah, that's the bang bang right there, man.
Sometimes it's not about the quantity, it's about the quality.
It's always about the quality. It's never about the quantity. Quality over quantity any day in my book. You know what I'm saying? So
you said you don't want to move up 5 spots to take your man from Michigan.
Because I'm giving up because there's still top 100 players.
There's still top quality.
There's still top quality in the top 100 because players are falling. So why would I give up another? So you're telling me to give up 2 players to get the 1 player? That doesn't make sense. Now, if that 1 player falls to me,
15, it was a top 15 ranked guy.
No. I totally understand where you're going, Tony. I trust me, but my point is, I don't know if I'm willing to give up another player that can potentially be a top in this particular defense. Let's just say the Niners can land 2 players from 1 school that I think will come in and be impact if they don't make that trade. So let's just say they don't draft Will Johnson. Let's say they draft Nick Emmanwori first, and then they able to get somehow TJ Sanders because there's not the run on defensive tackles is over.
Yeah.
So that's why I don't know like if I would make that trade, even though he's a top 15 player. Now, if he was fully healthy, he wouldn't be on the board and we wouldn't be having this conversation. But to Mike's situation, if you're going to give me 1 yellow flag player, then let me throw the other yellow flag player. And now we got to pick between the yellow flag guys. One's health issues and one is history issues.
Yep.
So I don't know if I would make that trade because then, man, bro, can you imagine getting TJ Sanders and Nick Emmanwori? And you guys do know Nick Emmanwori is built like a linebacker, right? So technically, he can play the off-ball weak side linebacker. Technically.
And that's I said that. Where did I say that?
I don't know, but I'm technically isn't that true that he can do that? Like he has the speed. Yeah.
Someone. At 6'3", 230 pounds, he could be considered an off-ball linebacker.
That would be crazy. So there's so many ways. All right, before we jump off here, because I got to get ready for a Bleacher Report show, I will be back tonight live at 6 p.m. on the channel doing the draft coverage. Nothing but Niners will be doing their draft coverage for sure. All right, so make sure you guys lock in to one of the channels. And if you got 2 different browsers on your computer, open up both of them, watch them at the same damn time. All right, hey. Mike.
Yep.
Who do you think the Niners pick at 43 with the players that are still available?
Carson Schlesinger.
Okay, you go on linebacker. Tony, who do you think the Niners pick at 43 if the players are still available?
Freak. If it's Carson Schlesinger, it's a Robert Saleh pick.
Facts.
I'm going to throw a curveball.
Are we waiting?
Irsray.
Ariante Irsray. I can see it. I don't agree with it, but I can see it.
Wayne be having the nicest way of telling you, never mind. I ain't got
Listen, we don't know. We don't know if we don't know if any of those guys are going to be there, right?
Right, but
you don't know if Johnson's going to be there, and Morano, whatever his name, the safety from South Carolina. There could be a run. TJ Sanders could be gone. We don't know, but as an outsider, as like a long shot, I would put his name into the mix.
Okay, and like I said, I can see it. I don't think I would like it because I still think there's value at the offensive tackle position later. Feel me? We said pick 43, and I think there'll be value at 75. I just do. Sorry. At 43 for me, pending who's available, I think they need to address defensive tackle position and go and get the freaking high motor mouse Darius Alexander, the 24-year-old grown ass man out of Toledo. And it sounds like the Niners love versatility. Tony and Mike, they just talked about screamed and raved about the versatility of what Mykel Williams can do, because he can line up inside and outside. So why not get an inside outside line defensive lineman? You got an outside to the inside, so now go get the inside to the outside guy that can rush the passer, and that's what he will do. He will rush the passer, high pass rushing rate, pass rush rate for sure. And I get he's 24, but hey, man, he'll be here till he's 28 and probably balling.
Just one quick question. If you take his versatility out of outside in and you put him up against TJ Sanders, who would you take?
I still would take him because I watched him dominate the All-Stars. That's what I got. I got a chance to watch him literally put people on their asses. And his motor is higher now.
In the one-on-ones?
And the one-on-ones. He won inside and outside. So for me, I have a little bias toward Darius Alexander, because I actually watched it happen. Like, I was just like, wow. And usually for me, like, when I see you go against the cream of the crop and you're winning, why do you think I'm so high on David Walker? I would love for him to be a third-round pick for the Niners. Double up on edge. A lot of people like Oluwafemi. Oh, let me ask you this last question about Oluwafemi. Why not draft him and he play the weak side? He's got the speed, and he's a former linebacker.
I would put him as a strong side linebacker.
A strong side, okay.
I think he would be a lot better as a strong. I think he would be the KJ Wright of the Legion of Boom.
Okay. I got you. Roy's Place with the question. I have one question. Do the Niners pick a superstar or a lineman, reach player? If Henderson is there, do you think they pick him at 43? That's a great question, Mike. If Trey, I'm gonna ask Mike, Tony, because this is his guy. If Travion Henderson is at 43, should the Niners? No bias there.
Nope.
If you would have asked me if that was a Michigan player, I'd have been like, hell yeah. You know,
I can't do it just because of where they went. I'm looking at the team and really what I think we have the ability. We are in prime position to do something really special tonight.
I agree.
And it really do start at 43, y'all. I know we say, it starts with the Niners at 11, right? No, like 43 is really it, because now it's about complementary pieces. Let's try to get an idea of the picture they're painting, right? They just put the tip of the brush in the paint. We just know what color we're working with right now. We have no idea what the picture is going to be until they go ahead and complete this process. And so this is going to help build now. Now we get to see some strokes, pause.
On that note, thank y'all so much for tuning in to the BAM Show. I'll be back here at 6 p.m. with the Nitty Gritty Niners crew. Mike, take us home, bro, because you be stroking on one. You be stroking.
Hey! Okay. We live all the time, kicking it with the fam, bro. That's Tony. Oh, wait, that's Tony. That's Wayne over there.
I'm glad you got it all wrong, but finally you messed up.
And I'm Mike, and this is the BAM Show.
You finally.
What's up, faithful? Thanks for watching. Hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe, and make sure you check out some of the other cool videos.